Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don, otherwise known as the Jersey Cowboy. I got living proof I'm the Jersey Cowboy. Penny, shout out to you. Penny made a gift for this reaction, so she's playing DJ through me, kind of. But she also sent me that shirt a while back, and man, was that thoughtful and a lot. And she also sent me the bolo tie and the belt buckle. So it's just a lot of fun. Thank you, Penny. But Penny's got me doing Whey Jennings. He's the grandson of Waylon. And the name of the song is If It Wasn't for the Sinnin. I don't know what we're getting into and what kind of sinning we're talking about here. Not sinning, sinnin. Here we go. Dirt Rock Empire. Start with the Bible.
I have been ashamed of all my wicked ways. Though I've changed, they still remain from my beginning. I'm 260 days past 30 years of rage, and it feels good to finally be living. But how could I have ever been forgiven if it wasn't for the sinning? If it wasn't for the sinning, I know now I've been committing. I'd never known that I could change my ways. And no, I'm not defending the evil and the wicked, just pointing out it's not too late to change.
There you go, man.
When I look at my past, I do anything but laugh. I was on a loser's path I thought was winning.
Oh, that was a good observation. I was on a loser's path, losing or loser's path, same thing, that I thought was winning. It's on a losing path that I thought was winning. How delusional. I've been there. That's why I love this lyric. I got, especially when I was in my 20s, you think you just know it all, you know? And then you go down this path and and the world kicks back. It teaches you. It teaches you. And then at some point, you give up certain fights because they're not worth fighting. It's only hurting yourself. I like that a lot. I like him a lot. Whey has got it going on, man.
We're fast, showing everyone my ass. And on myself instead of God I was depending. But how could I have ever been forgiven if it wasn't for the sinning?
Bible saved him.
I'd never known that I could change my ways. And no, I'm not defending the evil and the wicked, just pointing out it's not too late to change. They say that dark returns to light. I'm here to say I think they're right. If God is good and so's the life I'm living. I love my children and my wife, and God has surely blessed our life. And finally, we can stop pretending. 'Cause how could we have ever been forgiven if it wasn't for the sinning?
It's an interesting perspective, which I've heard before. I like the pitch of that lead guitar. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those almost like philosophical perspectives. How could I ever be forgiven if it wasn't for the sinning? But on the other hand, you could look at it like a paradigm shift. You look at it from the other direction. There'd be no need for forgiveness. I mean, if you didn't sin, there'd be no need for it. So forgiveness would have been like a response to it. But it is. That's just like a more narrow microcosm of the broader debate of light versus darkness, good versus evil. Can you appreciate love without hate? Like, you need frames of reference. That's the general idea. It's kind of tough to step outside our human box because we have our ideas and the ways that we're used to things being. So the idea of just having, say, pure love and being able to experience pure love without any frame of reference that detracts from it or derogates from one's own being, but like with hatred or jealousy or these other things that we call that are bad things. Can you have one without the other? That's beyond my pay grade. And I contemplate these things a lot. There are just certain things where, like, when you're in a certain world, it is very difficult to imagine a different way. Scientists, like physicists, for example, the laws that we experience here on Earth of physics, it is said that they exist everywhere in the universe. It has to be uniform in order for us to understand those things. So E equals mc squared here, it equals 14 billion light years away, or what have you. And nature abhors a vacuum, and all these different things that physicists or cosmologists will look at. But it's very hard to imagine that things could be different somewhere else. And maybe E doesn't equal mc squared somewhere else. We can't really step outside our own, not parameters, but our own approaches to things because we only know one way. And so we posit these things that if I'm going to understand what James Webb Space Telescope or Hubble or the microwave background cosmic radiation and whatever we've come up with, I have to apply a uniform principle to it. So that's kind of like the same thing with good and evil. And in the context of this song, how could I be forgiven if it wasn't for the sinning? And then to say, well, then I got to sin so I could be forgiven. That's not the direction you'd want to go in. I think it's just a realization, and a beautiful one in here, that it started out 260 days beyond, his 30th year of raging? I think it was something like that. And man, does it feel good to just see a different way where you don't have to fight all the time. You're really fighting yourself. You're finding reasons to be angry out there. You're finding things that are wrong with the world. And you're like, screw that. And you just develop this unhealthy relationship with the world. Like Buddha, the expression, happiness isn't a destination. Happiness is the path. And it's like, well, that's a lot to take in. Like, can you just sort of like over time create a psyche that enables you to be happy? And you can make progress in that just by changing the way you think. But in this one, 260 days, and he was loving it. He attributed that, of course, to God and his faith, and he had a woman and a kid in the video. So, Penny, that was beautiful. That was you. I was thinking that during this. This is you, because I know you're a woman of faith. I know you just are trying so hard to make a better world, and you are making this a better world just by who you are, how you are, what you give of yourself. And so it made complete sense, and that was on my mind a little bit during the video, like, oh, this is a Penny song, totally. So I'm going to rate it. I'm going to rate the video. I love Whey's voice. I love his artistry. I love his presentation. I love his reserve. It's true country music reservation. Nothing out there in your face, blow you back, let you be drawn in. It's up to you. It's respectful. I'm going to let you be drawn in. Take it as you will. And he does that. Well, the number that hit me is a 9.2. It was beautifully shot. It was just a beautiful sentiment. It was a beautiful idea. And if anything, it'll get you thinking. And that's a good thing too. Okay, folks. Thank you, Penny. You can thank Penny for that, and we'll go from there. Have a great day. See you on another video, and keep rocking the country.